Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Shuang. Indonesia is going through a new wave of COVID infections with daily cases hitting record highs last week. On Wednesday, February 16, Indonesia hit a daily record high of more than 64,000 cases. It was higher than in the previous wave, which peaked just under 57,000 in July 2021. According to Johns Hopkins data, Indonesia has reported 5.2 million cases of COVID-19 to date and at least 146,000 deaths since the start of the pandemic. It has the highest number of cases among Southeast Asian countries. The latest surge in Indonesia's COVID case has put China-made vaccines to the test. Two medical doctors who spoke to CNBC argued that China-produced vaccines are still able to prevent severe illness and death. Dr. Dickie Budiman is a global health security researcher at the Griffith University in Australia. He said that being less effective is not the same as being ineffective. Vin Gupta is an affiliated assistant professor at the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, an independent global health research center at the University of Washington. He said, if you received 2 doses or 3 doses of Sinovac or Sinopharm, those vaccines, frankly, are doing their job. Before Omicron emerged, studies showed that the efficacy of Chinese vaccines was lower than that of mRNA shots, which reported more than 90% effectiveness. The WHO said that the Sinopharm vaccine's efficacy against symptomatic COVID infections is 79%, while Brazilian researchers said that the efficacy of Sinovac shots was 50%. In April, the director of the China Centers for Disease Control, Gao Fu, was quoted by the Associated Press as saying that the Chinese vaccines don't have very high protection rates. He later said it wasn't an admission that Chinese vaccines have a low protection rate, but that he was offering a scientific vision to improve vaccine efficacy. As Omicron spread in December, researchers from the University of Hong Kong found that the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine fared slightly better than Sinovac shots against the variant, but noted that both did not provide enough protection. In that sense, all countries remain vulnerable to high case numbers. The US has administered mostly mRNA vaccines, which are seen to be more effective, but it's still vulnerable to Omicron. Cases surged in the US in January as the variant swept through the country. Deaths spiked but remained lower than in previous waves. Many developing countries around the world relied on Chinese-made COVID vaccines, which are easier to transport and store compared to those developed by Pfizer or Moderna, which must be kept at sub-freezing temperatures. COVID cases in Indonesia started rising rapidly in January and continued to climb. According to the WHO February 15 report, infections in the country increased 68% from the week before. The increase in cases has come mainly from cities with high population density, such as Bandung, Yogyakarta, and the capital of Jakarta. However, the virus could spread further in suburban areas soon. Bed occupancy rates in hospitals are also rising. The good news is that Indonesians are more aware of tracing and testing now and are taking initiative to get tested when they are in close contact with confirmed cases. The country is also better positioned now, given that the vaccination rates have risen. Additionally, people who recovered from an earlier strain of the virus may have some immunity. According to Our World in Data, close to 51% of the population in Indonesia is fully vaccinated. By comparison, neighboring Malaysia has fully vaccinated close to 79% of its population. In Philippines, 56% of the population is fully vaccinated. Up to now, China remains one of the few countries not to have imported one of the effective mRNA COVID-19 vaccines developed by Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna. However, this may be set to change. China is now developing its own mRNA vaccine. Development of ARCoV, China's candidate mRNA vaccine, started in March 2020. The technology used is very similar to that in the Pfizer, BioNTech, and the Moderna vaccines, which is using modified messenger RNA from the virus housed in a lipid droplet to stimulate immunity. But rather than getting the immune system to respond to the full spike protein of the virus, ARCoV gets the body to make copies of the receptor binding domain RBD, which is a key subpart of the virus spike protein that is used to attach to and enter cells. This part of the virus seems to be especially recognizable by the immune system, which suggests that targeting it could have a particularly good protective effect. Another potential advantage of ARCoV has over the earlier mRNA vaccine is that it is stable at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius for at least 1 month. It will make transporting, storing, and delivering the vaccine much easier. Some interim results are to be expected in the coming months. There is also another trial underway that's studying giving ARCoV as a booster following the Sinovac or Sinopharm vaccines. The results of these studies, both in terms of whether there are any adverse events and how well ARCoV prevents infection, severe diseases, and death, will dictate the future of this vaccine and China's future approach to COVID-19, should it fail. Will China seek to purchase some of the proven Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna mRNA vaccine instead? Time will tell. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.